Yeah, the fellow travelers, Mark here with Walter's World, and it's time to talk about 2025. I know the Christmas tree is right behind me, but 2024 and the 2024 travels are behind us as well. We must look forward. And so we're going to talk about today is one, going to answer some of your questions about travel, but I want to talk about some things you should expect in travel this year, like the EES, the electronic, basically fingerprint picture taking in Europe, or ETIAS, which is the non-visa visa waiver thing you're going to fill out later in the year for going to Europe, and other fun things coming out there, and also kind of what to expect. Some places are going to be quite popular this year, things we're going to go, places you might go, all kinds of new stuff. But I will say Happy New Year to all the fantastic people that have already said Happy New Year. On here from Steve and Jane, Travel Freak, Jesse, Scorpio Sue, good to see you. Jane, join the adventure, all kinds of great people. I'm Mark Finley, good to see you, buddy. Yowz, there's always a pleasure. Jocelyn, she's making a little breakfast right now, and she's going to join me here in a bit. But I want to kind of go through a few things, let you know how things have gone. It was a good year of travel, I think, for a lot of people. A lot of people got back to traveling. And funny thing is, the big travel buzzword of 2024 was over-tourism. Every place was overrun. Actually, it wasn't. The numbers were not more than 2019. It's just that you had so many businesses go out of business during the pandemic and all these things. They haven't come back. And people have really focused on specific destinations. That's why if you went to Athens, Mykonos, Santorini the last couple of years, they've been packed. But if you go into Crete, it's not too bad. So there are places you can go to avoid the craziness. And this coming year, we're going to have a lot of videos on some new destinations, smaller cities, things like that, but also in popular destinations, back in, France, Spain. We got stuff coming from Chile, Brazil. We have things coming from Panama. We've got all kinds of great stuff coming up, but just want to kind of let you know that that's out there. I know some people think, like, Mark, what are the big things looking at for going into 2025? And like I said, the EES or EES is basically in Europe starting the first half of 2025. When you go through at your first border check, you're going to notice, one, you're not going to get too many stamps anymore when you go to Europe. That sucks, I know, but they're probably going to fingerprint you like when you come in the US, and we'll take your picture, and they're going to register you that way, okay? That's the first thing that's coming in. Now, the ETIAS system, that is like for people coming from outside the U.S., when they come in, they have the ESTA system. Basically, what you're going to be doing with this is you register at least 72 hours before your flight, okay? Very important to do. And it's valid for 3 years. And what you do is basically give them your flight information, your passport information. If you've done anything wrong or whatever, there's like a few little questionnaire. You fill that out. Most people will learn in about 30 seconds that, congratulations, you're registered, okay? Print that thing out, save the PDF so you have it just in case, but you're taken care of for 3 years. Or if your passport ends sooner than that, when you get a new passport, you have to do it again. So it's linked to your passport. So you will have that. But that, which is something that I've been literally making videos about since 2022, I believe, or 2021, because you're supposed to go in 2022, then 2023, then 2024, and we're in 2025. So we'll see if it actually comes in this year. If it does, it's supposed to come in, like last time I heard it was like May, June. So think about that, but there'll be stuff coming out for it sooner. So you'll know that. The UK has their own version, and that's online, so you can do that. But just give you a heads up for that. Michael, yeah, no stamps. Well, fewer stamps. You might still get some stamps, but there'll be probably fewer stamps in your passports if you're going to Europe. So that can not cool. Hey, John, good to see you. Ryan, good to see you. So I want to talk about those things. That's two things I think some people will be kind of freaked out about, because I've been getting questions about these for a few years now, and it's kind of like it's coming. But then I get the stupid people like, well, it's not a visa, it's a visa waiver. I'm like, really? It's a form you have to fill out before you get someplace. All right, so it's a visa, but it's not a visa. But it's one of those things. It's easy, simple to do. Don't let it stop you from traveling. It's not one of these like super complicated. It's like going to Russia, getting the visa for that was super complicated back in the day, And one thing you have to realize is some countries are changing their visa requirements. So, like Brazil didn't have visas for a while, and now they're going to be bringing it back for some nationalities. So you do want to take care that you do check, and you'll notice when you buy your plane tickets, you're going to start seeing more like warnings. Hey, don't forget, you have to get your visa. You have to figure it out. And the airlines aren't, what I've found is the airlines aren't really helpful. They don't tell you where to go. They don't tell you if you really do need one or not. They just say, hey, don't forget, you have to get this. So it's a blanket thing that covers their butts. So they don't get in trouble with them saying, you say, well, I didn't know how to get a visa. No, when you click, you got to click OK at the end. So you knew that, but they don't help you along the way. So once the ETIAS system goes online, I'm going to actually, when I get mine, I will go through it step by step so I can show you all how it is. So then it's not as scary. So we have those things coming up. So do be aware of it. Yes, Gans, yes, you have to fill at least 72 hours before your trip. They want it then because it could take up to 72 hours to get you cleared. But most of the time they say it's going to be, you're going to get approved within like 30 seconds. So it's kind of like when you buy a ticket online, it's like processing. Congratulations, you'll have that. Brian asks, you're going to have new merch this year? I hope so. Like we have some stuff from Teespring, but I got to get some new things out there. We will get some new merch out there. Don't worry. I'll probably have a live feed and we'll get those. It's just, we had such a bad experience with merch a few years ago that really put a bad taste in my mouth. And we still have some t-shirts. Like if you watch some of our videos, you'll see some Teesprings. There are some shirts you can buy there. A few people get them every so often. We haven't anything new for a bit. So I need to get, some just traditional like Waldorf's World here thing, but then also some fun ones where we've been working on. So we have that. So there will be those there. Walter's World mug or bumper sticker. We actually, the mug is actually on Teespring. You can get that on there. There was one at least. If someone can post the link for that, so there'll be that there. So who knows? It'll be coming. The mug is on there. There's a cap. There's all kinds of shirts and sweatshirts and stuff. But to get new things, we're going to be talking to a new, more reliable merchandise distributor than we had before because it was really annoying. So there's some things there. Now, looking at some of the questions that people are throwing in here. Vink. Okay, so Vink wants to know about the ETIAS. What if you have a layover in the other country before your phone destination country? What country do you put in? So it'll be the first one you land in. Okay, so there is that. Now, technically speaking, you could actually go through if you're only in transit, but because in transit ones, you're not actually getting out. You're just staying in the part of the airport that isn't going out, so you're not actually going in border control. You're like staying to go outside to a different country if it's like outside of Schengen. But if you're going into Schengen, it'll be that first one there because wherever you get your stamp, so you have that. And the thing is, that's just your first one, and then you can go at other times. So if you have it registered and then you end up canceling your trip, you're already registered, so you have that. Brian, a bumper sticker. We actually have stickers. We had stickers, so we had to get those on the Teespring one to have that. Let's see. Yeah. So, Guillermo wants to know, is a day trip to Vienna from Prague worth it? It is, but you could take the train or the bus, take about the same amount of time, and you go through Brno on the way, so you see this big, huge cathedral. It's pretty cool. You can do it, but I'd probably spend the night there when you're there. Oh, thank you very much, Scorpio Sue. Happy New Year. Going to Amsterdam, Antwerp in March. Any tips? So Amsterdam, so we have like 3,000 videos on those on Amsterdam. Antwerp, I would just look at our general country video for that one. That's going to help you out. I don't have any Antwerp specific ones. It is very modern. There is some cool things you can do. There's like on the river and stuff. Very modern. So that's one of those things. So you won't get there's some cool older things there, but Amsterdam will give you the old world feel, and Antwerp will give you more of the mixed new world, old world feel. So you'll have that there. So thank you very much for the super chat. That was very nice of you. Oh, yes. So thank you, Michael. Good to see you. Thomas Reiser, good to see you as well. So many good people. See, Happy New Year. Looking forward to everyone traveling to Croatia. I started a few times in Georgia. Nice, Ronnie. And Ronnie, keeping it up, man. You're kicking butt. He's awesome. So Stephen has a good question. This is one thing I wanted to talk about with looking at forward to 2025. And I'm going to get to more questions. I just want to kind of talk about this coming year for the people that are watching the replay. Any conflict stop certain plans for 25. I think in general for people, it is important to be aware. Like right now, we have tickets. We're going to Panama, and Panama's had some things recently, but we'll probably be okay. Also, we had our fans vote, and it was funny. We voted on Instagram and YouTube, and I think Instagram was like 35% Korea, 34% Banff National Park in Canada, and then on YouTube was like 33, 34. It was like the same. So they were like tied. So we're gonna do both. So we got the Banff already booked. In Korea, we're gonna book that one later. But right now in Korea, there's some issues going on. They impeached their president. They had the martial law thing. So that's one where we're kind of put a little hesitant. So I didn't drop the coin. You know what I mean? Like didn't push buy yet. So that's one that'll probably end up being pushed to later in the year to see how things kind of clean up or straighten up or calm down or whatever. So that's something to kind of look at. And that's one thing I think is important when you're looking at your destination. See if there's things going on. Like just look up the news. Is there something there? Like if there's no news on it, probably there's nothing going on. But if there is news, like wait, they don't usually talk about Korea except for Samsung. What's going on? That's one of those things you want to look towards. In terms of like Syria and Israel and those things, I don't know. Like I have a bunch of Israel videos that I'm ready to put out from our time there that I think will be very helpful for people there. People are going back and traveling there again. I know airlines have kind of called it off until like January, spring for Israel. So we'll see what that is. But I can see it impacting some travel destinations. But in general, I don't think it's going to be a huge thing for most travelers where you're going to go. So it's the usual common sense, check things out. But that is one thing. That's a really good question, Stephen. Thank you. Travel Freak 2019. Thank you very much for the super chat. 3 countries that you recommend for 2025 that's solo traveler friendly and not a super long flight from Texas, preferably under 5 to 6 hours, 3 to 4 days trips, maybe 5, not a lot of PTO for me. Okay, so Travel Freak, so if you're in Texas, so the 5 to 6 takes you out of Europe kind of stuff. What I would look at, Costa Rica, you got tons of flights. I don't know where you're in Texas, but from Dallas, Houston, Dallas and Houston, there's tons of flights to Costa Rica. That's a very easy one to do. Great stuff to do. And you can get a lot of stuff in 5 days. Like Jocelyn's doing a 5-day trip there with some friends, just going on their own. And we've gone there before where they even learn to surf or go explore the nature. That's a good one there. Another, if you're looking for that kind of thing, look at Banff National Parks. I'm doing a lot of research for like outdoor park stuff. That's a really cool one. You fly into Calgary and then you go from Calgary there. And there are direct flights, I think, with WestJet from someplace in Texas to go up there. Or if you want to get the Europe feel, but you don't have the time, you can go to Quebec City in Canada. That's really good. I always love going there, winter, summer, fall, whatever. You're going to enjoy going there. There's that. Let's see. Go like if you're looking at Caribbean stuff. If you want, like, I want to save, not have to worry, hit up an island thing. Cayman Islands are super safe. We'll have new videos. We just were there, so I have videos on that. If you want something, and that's good for solo, you don't have to worry about anything. Puerto Rico as well. You can even just stay in San Juan for 3 or 4 days. There's direct flights for you. That's another nice one if you're looking to get nice weather. U.S. cities for a weekend by yourself. Savannah, Georgia, because people are really fun and nice. New Orleans, you can do like people are like, oh, it's crazy. Like, you can have a good time on New Orleans with myself, family, friends. You can do that. So those are some ones I think if you're looking for like a shorter flight from Texas to do that. And Jocelyn, do you have any 3 or 5 to 6 hour flights from Texas for a weekend for Travel Freak 2019?
I heard you. You said Costa Rica, right? Yeah. And Banff. They want to go international or stay? We don't know. Okay. El Salvador and Nicaragua are 2 of my favorites. I know that's probably a little scary to some people.
Yeah, I think like El Salvador solo probably can do. Like Nicaragua, I would probably go. I would go to El Salvador these days over Nicaragua. Yeah. So those are some ones for you. So thank you very much. Brian asks, do you ever use Google Earth to see what a place looks like before you go? Not really. I usually just do normal searches and stuff.
If I'm going on my own, occasionally I kind of do, particularly around the area around our hotel. Or maybe some major sites if I haven't been there before, just so that I kind of get my bearings before I get there. It's kind of a safety thing for me.
Yeah. So let's see. Ian, have you any suggestions for awesome places to visit in the U.S. that are not well known?
Chanute, Kansas. Y'all, my dad lost 2 tires on a road trip and got stuck in Chanute, Kansas. And he's like, you and Mark need to do a video about this place. It's so awesome. The people are great and everything's a good deal. So, I don't know.
I wouldn't put it on there, but okay.
Okay, Dinosaur National Park. And what's the park in West Virginia that I feel like nobody goes to?
Gorge National Park, because you can do a lot of like zip. There's some of the best zip lining in the country are there. Go do that in the world, and like adventure climbing in the trees. That's cool.
I feel like nobody goes to those 2 places. I love Dinosaur, and it's like near a whole lot of other things that are like maybe a little more well known that are cool to go and see.
Yeah, but if you're looking for cities, kind of because like you can go like that are not as big but are still great to see, like Santa Fe, New Mexico, Kansas City, Missouri, Savannah, Georgia. Let's see, Fredericksburg, Texas. You've got a lot of people. Milwaukee was cool. Not a lot of people go
I
there.
enjoyed Milwaukee. I also love Cleveland, like a
Yeah.
whole lot.
Yeah, not a lot of, yeah, we like that too. And you can go to the Christmas Story house when you're there. So
Yeah,
that's
you
nice.
actually spend the night there. We did, and it's amazing. So
See what else?
Idaho, we had an amazing time in Idaho.
Anything in Montana too. Montana's good.
Yeah.
Parks there.
Yeah, it's not just the parks. I mean, you can get out and kind of just spend some time. It's pretty great.
So Nazi Romero, thank you very much for the super chat. How long to spend in Interlaken? We'll head to Cinque Terre and Tuscany regions afterwards. So Interlaken, so it depends how adventuresome you are. So for those of you know, Interlaken is like the outdoor sports capital of Europe. Well, Switzerland and Europe. That's where you go for spelunking. You go there for canyoning. You go there for rafting. You do all kinds of stuff. It's very fun. Young people, great place to go. Balmer's is the famous hostel that's there. I would say give yourself 2 or 3 days of like, if you're gonna do adventure stuff, like a day for 3 days of adventure things, and then go. If you're not big in the adventure stuff, I would do 2 days, because the town itself's a small town, so it's Switzerland. It's expensive, so so be aware of that. So that'd be good. And Cinque Terre, you have a great time there. I have plenty of videos on that. I'm actually going to be filming in Cinque Terre again soon this coming year, so we'll have new videos for that coming. So it'll be fun, cool, and thank you very much. John, my friend, thank you very much. Remember, for 22 months, my friend. That is 2 years of traveling with us. Yeah. I appreciate it. I enjoyed Germany trip in December. I'm glad, John. Yeah, so we got the Christmas markets, the fun, and lots of Glühwein. Lots of Glühwein, I'm guessing, my friend.
We had a little bit of that this year.
Yes, Christmas Day.
Or last year.
Yeah, last year, this year. I haven't any yet this year.
No. Oh, we should have that. Do you want some now?
Maybe not at 10 in the morning. It's a new year. It's a new me. Remember, I gotta try to get better. I'm trying to be like, trying to be like Ronnie Dove and get like super sexy. So do my best. Oh, thanks, babe. Good save. Good babe. Caleb travel. Any plans to visit Fair Odds? We do, but not. I don't think it'll be this year. With what we have planned for this year. I can't.
That one.
Steven, you tend to love the food in every country you go to. Not true. Not a judgment, but has anyone meal made you super sick? Yes. The water in El Salvador, and this was, we knew not to drink the tap water there, but they're like, if you need water, ask someone that works here. They'll fill up your bottles with drinking water.
I asked the guard.
Yeah, and this was,
he didn't know.
Yeah, the guard did. Guard just got the normal water for her, and she drank like a whole bottle. I had like this much of a bottle, and
this much.
Caleb had a sip, and Liam's like, So the boys are fine. Jocelyn,
I was vomiting tar.
I was vomiting pooping tar. And
that came too for me. But I mean, everything smelled like sulfur. Like it was, I thought I was possessed by a demon. It was really horrible.
So if any of you ever watched the X-Files in the 90s, when there was the black tar stuff, that's what was coming out of both ends. And here's the crazy thing. Like, luckily our bathroom was outside of where we were staying. So we were like literally changing off all night, and we had to leave the next day, by the way. And the most beautiful fish we ever ate. Well, I shouldn't get to eat it. I got to eat it.
I ordered it the day before because they go out and catch it for you. I was so pumped about this fish. I will never have. No, I'm going to go back.
Go back, but like, and I was like, oh, it's too bad she went. And I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. I'm like, we got to go, boys. And then anyway, so 1:30 in the morning, I'm literally both ends, and we were literally like 50 meters from the coast, and an earthquake hits.
It's a tiny tremor.
Almost, it was closer, could have been bad. But I'm like, I'm earthquake on the coast, and I can't get out the toilet. I'm just going crazy. I'm like, and I was like, the sirens didn't go off. So like, okay, so it wasn't something. But I was just like, you got to be.
There was going to be a tsunami, and he's going to die in a toilet.
I didn't go that far. Joke about that. That's a serious thing. So
I know.
Ronnie Dove. See, that's the sexy Ronnie Dove I'm talking about right there.
The thing that made me ill was the well, I don't know that I was actually sick from it, but the poop out potatoes in Slovenia.
Yeah, it's literally called poop out potatoes. Actually, SHIT out, potatoes in. It's made with the intestines, and Josh was like, they didn't clean all the intestines out. Yeah, I think some other times there's times I've gotten really sick and had some things, but yeah, we can do that in the late night when I talk about the Buenos Aires train bad times kind of things. Michael, traveling the world. Thank you, my friend. Any tips for Rimini, Ravenna, San Marino, Venice, Padua, Modena, going to got my Rimini. Nice. Okay, so Ravenna, we have Ravenna is great. So those people haven't gone to, okay, I'll just go through the line. Rimini, So Rimini is a beach resort town in Italy that a lot of people go to, and it very much is like going to your like Myrtle Beach in South Carolina kind of stuff. So it is geared towards tourists. There's some cultures out there, but not a ton.
It's not my jam.
So like that's where you're going to get lots and lots of tourists, but you're going to have the tourist as well, the tourist trappings. Ravenna, that is a Byzantine gem. We have videos on Ravenna. And there you literally see churches from the year 500. Not 500-year-old churches, but churches from the year 500. Fantastic. Well worth it. They have beaches there too. You can take
and the
local bus tour.
Oh,
Mosaics are incredible.
amazing.
San Marino, worth going to, but I would just do a day trip for it when you're in Ravenna or when you're in Rimini. Just do the day trip up, take the bus up, do that. There's some like silly museums that are there, but it's more the fact that you can say San Marino, and then you have beautiful views from up there. We have videos on there. Venice, tons of videos on Venice. I'm gonna have more for you by June because I'm going back to film even more stuff. Just be aware of you need to get if you're gonna do the day pass, you got to book that beforehand on the days you're gonna go because it depends when you're gonna be. Because Venice has a fee, and it was like 22 days last year, and it's gonna be more days this year from April through July, where you have to pay like I think it's €7 to get in, but you got to pre-register if you have a hotel there. If your hotel is booked, it's covered because you have your hotel booking. So have your hotel booking on your phone so you can sell that. Padua, you want to make sure the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the basilica, not basilica, you want to go to the chapel you want to go through, the blue one you want to do, book those beforehand because they're timed tickets. Vicenza, you're going to go eat and drink and make merry and have a good time when you're there. Modena, day trip. Milan, book your...
Modena, you just get the balsamic, right?
Oh, yeah. But I have been. There's a nice church that's there. You can eat well, but it's a day. Milan, pre-book your tickets for the Last Supper because there's only 15 minutes windows. So those you go eat and there's the Duomo,
on the
Scala. It's the whole thing. Yeah, it's
Milan to me is like a day. You
can do it too.
So I want to add to the Vicenza thing. If you like architecture, Palladium, that's like the seat of Palladian architecture, and it's pretty incredible. We actually stay in a place that is adjacent to his basilica. Like literally, I wake up in the morning and I look out the window, and I could pretty much reach out the window and touch the basilica, and it's like, oh. So if you're an architecture nerd like me,
yeah. So I hope that helps. Rick, we discovered Slovenia for videos and had an amazing time. I'm glad that it is still relatively hidden because people still aren't going there because they feel like it's the end of like Europe. And I'm like, no, there's more. And actually, we're going to be going down there. So if I'm going to talk about our 2025, so we've got a lot of stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of the Balkans, not Baltics, Balkans. So we're going to be in like Albania, Kosovo, North Macedonia, Serbia, Bosnia, Bulgaria, Romania, and then up to Slovakia, Poland. So we got like that kind of swath there to get a lot of new countries for new videos. It's going to be insane. We're back to insane travel. Okay.
I'm so excited. We haven't done one of those like let's hit 11 countries kind of thing in a long time.
Yeah. Daryl, do you ever think you'll cut? Never, Daryl. Never. Ever. I'm living the lie, and I want to keep living the lie, my friend. Let's see. Yeah, the black oil. Stuart Ross, my friend, good to see you. Off to Berlin tomorrow for 3 days, back for snowy weather. Still be doing some walking tours. Yeah, you'll be fine. And Berlin, snowy. I mean, there's like the public transportation will get you everywhere. Lots of good museums. Definitely do the Pergamon Museum, Stuart. Like to see the Pergamon altar. That's my favorite one there. And the gates, the Ishtar Gates, is really cool. The Checkpoint Charlie thing is kind of people are like, oh, it's a tourist trap. Nah, it's still interesting to go, especially like if you know about the history of it. It's really cool to go to that one. So you have a good time when you're there. Have the currywurst. It's bratwurst cupped up with curry ketchup. That's the go-to. Do not get the Eisbein. Eisbein is the like pork shoulder thing, but it's boiled. So don't get that one.
Brigadier. Seriously? The blinds are like 99% shut, and he sees somebody out there. He's starting to talk to them.
Yeah. Let's see. John only had 2 Glühweins in 2 weeks, but hot chocolate with that. That works too, my friend. That works too. I like that. I'm good. Oh, am I still going to New Zealand in April? Nice. I have not been in New Zealand, so I cannot. We don't do recommendations of places I don't go. I can only say a few things, but I don't want to give you advice when I don't know. But I know a lot of people have actually some really good videos out there, so you should be okay. Let's see. Oh, jumped around on. Sorry, it's jumping around on me, so it's. You gotta do this one. Elijah, should I visit Ireland, France, or Spain first? If it's your first time going abroad and you're worried about languages and stuff like that, Ireland, I usually tell people, is the easiest one to go to. I think for the
France, second, Spain, third.
Yeah.
Just for ease of travel if it's new to you.
Oh, Rob from Trip XTC. Anybody going to
Hi.
DC this year? Liam will be going this year on his 8th grade trip, Rob. I am not signing up to be a chaperone for that.
I might.
Yeah, Jocelyn might. No, you're going to be in.
I'm going to be not.
You're going to be in.
Available.
Yeah, you're going to be in South Carolina. So you can't.
Oh.
So, no, you'll be at a wedding. You have the wedding.
Oh,
You'll be in Florida. Yeah, so you can't go. Oh, Kaplan Stoy, Finland. I love Finland. I always love my time there. Scorpio is so insane for 55 months. Insane travel for the win. Thank you. 5 years. My goodness, Sue, you've been with us for a long time, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
That's a lot. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Click the button.
I'm getting there. Melissa, I am going on a semester abroad in Toulouse, France at the end of the month. I'll be there for 7 months. Do you have any tips for attending a European university? Mark has attended several and taught in several.
Yes. So I did my master's in Germany. Austria.
Teach in Austria.
We're in Austria. So I did class. Yeah, in Austria too. So there's those. I'd say one, attendance is not as mandatory in Europe as it is in the U.S. Also, homework is not as big of a thing in Europe as in the U.S. So a lot of it's self-study. So you're going to have to study on your own. And you might notice that your exam may be 100% of your grade. Like when I was in Germany, literally it was like you had one exam, that was it. So that puts a lot of pressure on there. So you want to see what's there. Also, if you're looking at courses, maybe see if your home university has like an online course you could take. So you can take one thing you know is going to transfer back. Also, the course you're going to take, check to make sure your home university will accept them. Sometimes it's just you sending an email to a professor to teach a similar topic and like, hey, would this work? Some professors are like, oh, I have to see the syllabus. And others are like, oh, the name's close enough. Go for it. There's that. Make sure meeting locals. First day, second day, third day, you go to all the first couple weeks of class and you say hi to everybody. If anybody invites you to do anything, you go and do it because people do not ask you a second time when you're an exchange student. They ask you once. And as being with that, one thing I've seen is if you're going to study abroad, you usually either go in with the locals or you hang out with the other expats. So you either hang out with the other exchange students or you go and hang out with locals only. A few times I got to
guess what we would choose for you to do.
Yeah, I would say go with the locals if you can. But the thing is, you have this, it's called the Erasmus program. That's the exchange program within Europe for Europeans. And there'll be a lot of other Europeans that are there. So you might end up being a group of friends with Americans and Germans and then some French and then some Portuguese. So be open to it. And just like when people invite you to do stuff, just say yes and go because you're going to be really tired at first, especially if you're going to be learning in French and trying to speak French all the time. So just know that. But you're going to have a great time. You're going to have an amazing time.
Claire wrote something about must-dos in London with a toddler. My must-do is stop in parks. Let your kids, toddlers need to just have their downtime. So that's my must-do for toddlers.
So Brian has a good question here. Are there any countries that you feel like you don't have to make more videos on because the advice is still good? Honestly, most of our videos, the advice is still good because that's one thing is there's a couple of things that will really date your travel advice. One, restaurants. Two, hotels. That's why you'll notice we never really talk about restaurants or hotels ever in our videos. We focus on the culture because the culture stays the same for the most part. And the museums stay the same. And the natural beauty, it's not like Arches National Park had a problem because the arches fell. But, you're looking at it and we're like, I want you to give you the culture. So whether you meet a 70-year-old French person, a 50-year-old French person, a 20-year-old French person, you have the core stuff there. And that's what we try to do. And that's going to help you set up. So that's why I say, even if we see a video that's 10 years old, I still stand behind it. Like some things do change. Some things change, but generally speaking, I'm like, that's still good enough. I don't need to make that. Like right now, I'm going back to some destination to redo some old videos, but it's more because it's in the old square format, not like this. It's not in HD, and if it's not in HD, YouTube's never going to show it. Also, there's some videos I have that are really good. Like my Dunce to the US videos, one of our biggest videos, is a great video for coming to the US. However, it's never shown anymore because it was from like 7 years ago. So they literally don't show anything or anything actually pre-pandemic. They don't show those anymore. So I'm like, I have to redo some of those. It's like, wait, didn't you already have a video like this? I did. But the thing is, they don't show it anymore. So that's where we want to help people. So I'm redoing some of those videos or not re-editing, but sometimes you put new things in. Like now, you're looking at, travel prep. You're looking at, I got to put in, talk about AI stuff and realize that, hey, AI, some of them really suck and some are okay, but like they'll give you the basic overview, but they can give you an idea of some stuff. So it's like, we talk about those. So anyway, thanks for that. That was a good question. Daniel J. Robinson, thank you very much for the super chat. Have you ever gotten a USA Rail Pass for Amtrak? If so, any advice? So I have some friends that have had them and they've loved them. But they traveled a lot on the train. Like they went all over,
Yeah. like cross country and
all kinds of stuff,
and a few other trips in between.
Yeah, and with all these rail passes, whether it's Euro, US rail passes, whatever, you always got to see how much you're really going to travel, because sometimes it's not worth it. Like, I don't think Euro rail is really worth it anymore, like it used to be. If you're going to be in some place, you can get like regional passes that are going to do the same thing for half.
Right, but for the US, if you're doing Amtrak, if you're doing a long like cross country trip, or you're going to be in like say the Northeast for a long period of time, they'll generally pay off. If you're just going to take one or two trips, but price out a couple of them and just see how it comes out, and if you'll know if it's worth it for you specifically pretty quickly.
And also remember, with the rail passes, some of the trains in the U.S. you have to book a seat reservation or to have that to register it, because otherwise you don't have a spot. And so you have to think about that also with that. So be careful with that one. So, but overall, I mean, it can pay off. Like, I don't have anybody that was like, no, it was horrible, but just have a heads up for it. Carl Nasser, hey Mark, is there anything in regards to a video about Japanese food? And do you know any good alternatives to back roads? I don't know back roads, so I can't say anything about that. But the Japanese food stuff, we do have some videos. We talked about Japanese food in our don'ts and shocks part. We talk about the food there. One of the big things that I would say is you're going to see a lot of plastic food outside where they show what it is. Just take a picture of it so you can go inside. It's like, I want that. And there's some foods you want to try, like anything like this, because that's going to be helpful. I should also show you what I mean by plastic food, like literally.
Here's our plastic food.
Yeah, like they'll have these things outside to show you.
That I bought on Restaurant Street. And it was,
it was cool. And you have that, and that is actually very, very helpful, because you won't have English menus a lot of places. Now, I know Japan is going to be super popular with tourists last year and this year because the yen is so weak, so you can go there. And it's literally half the price now than when we went a few years ago. So be aware of that and you watch our videos, but they still are helpful. Wagyu, the Wagyu beef.
Remember when we sat down at that restaurant and I was like, I'm still starving, because we each got these like 1.5 ounce pieces. And Mark's like, well, we just spent a ridiculous amount of money, so you don't get any more. We're going to 7-Eleven after this.
Yeah,
awesome.
And we did.
We did. Oh, and 7-Eleven, don't knock it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast every single morning.
Triangles. It's like, my favorite was the tuna. It's basically a rice triangle and seaweed wrapped around the bottom of it, but inside is like a tuna salad inside.
I think my favorite thing though was that as we were like going around and we were just like a little peckish and we didn't want to sit down and eat, we could get stuff out of the vending machines, and it was like really good food, and it's natural and not. Yeah,
you will not feel disgusting at all. Greg, thank you very much. All the best to my travel information inspiration channel. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's make 2020 jealous of 2025. We are doing our best. So
it will be.
Yeah, because we've got what's already booked for this year. Should I tell them?
Yeah.
So what we got for this year, there's 3 times in France for that various things. Because one's for me, one's with my parents, one's with us. We've got Italy, we've got Costa Rica, Panama. In the US, we've got Tucson, Chicago, Memphis, Savannah. We've got, let's see, most stuff in Europe. What else we have? Curacao. We've got let's go down. Poland, Slovakia, like Hungary.
Let's just make
Bulgaria,
a circle
Romania, Albania, North Macedonia. Greece. Let's see, Serbia. Obviously, so we're doing a lot there, and then we're then towards once we know the Korea situation is going to be there. There's going to be Korea, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. So we got a packed year. Like, there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming. But you'll notice there'll be still a lot of chunky. Like, I know I'm putting like 20 pounds on from my lowest, but I'm going back down. But there's still a lot of the big videos where I was like 80 pounds more than me, and you'd be like, Mark, what the hell happened? There's still videos from last year when I was really big in the hobby that's going to come out, and then when Israel is cool to go to, we'll put up the Israel videos. That's actually when I was my fattest, and you'll be like, oh my God, Mark, what happened? Don't worry, that was from when that was there. But anyway.
Kai says, Happy New Year. When visiting Greece, is it recommended to fly back into Athens and sleep the last night before flying home, or is it logistical to fly from an island and Athens airport to home on that day? So it depends on where you're going from and if all of the flights are tied together. If it's all in one big thing, if you can buy it from, say, Crete to Athens to Atlanta, fine, do it. If you are taking different airlines, like a U.S. airline from Athens to back to the States and you're taking Aegean from whatever whatever island, I would then suggest to go to Athens the day before. And it kind of can never hurt because, things get a little wonky in Greece sometimes. They let, they're what do we call that when you protest?
Strike.
Vive la grève is all I can
Strike.
remember.
Strike.
Yes.
Industrial action.
When there are strikes, you might get stuck. And so I think, in my opinion, it's best to start from Athens.
So, Greg, Azores versus Amalfi Coast. Amalfi Coast, you're going to see it's much more popular. Late May, early June. I would do late May because by June it gets packed with the Amalfi Coast. Azores, you have much more time and space to yourself. However, I would say as someone that does travel, I would do Amalfi Coast over Azores, even with the crowds in the Amalfi Coast. I'll just put them in my office. Eric B, Happy New Year. You might have saw Eric B. Well, you saw him in one of the 12 Days of Christmas parts, and then you saw his shoulder in another parts. You got in there twice, Eric, so we have that. Thomas B, thank you very much for the super chat. Caribbean again this year. Look, flights to and from Amsterdam are super expensive. Yeah. So when travel via Bogota, how long should we stay in Bogota? Or in Colombia? Colombia's great. Like, don't think it's the 80s craziness. We like Bogota. We got videos on Bogota.
I like these earrings in Bogota.
Yeah. Cartagena, Medellin. Dude, you could just do that for your vacation, to be honest.
We love Colombia.
We love Colombia. Like, love it. It'd be great.
Like, I could move to Cartagena.
Cartagena. My God.
I know, because everyone around you says Cartagena.
No, it says
everyone says that.
No, it says Cartagena. It's Cartagena.
Americans say it. And so it's in your head.
Say it.
Cartagena.
Do you say Cartagena? No. Sorry.
Okay, so I could live there. I'd honest to God, I could just easily just plunk myself down there and not leave. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Loved it.
But if you're going to stay in Bogota for just, hey, when we get to Bogota and just stay there and you're flying through there, I'll do 2 days in Bogota. Or if you can put it together, you can actually fly to some of the Caribbean places from Cartagena, and you could fly into Bogota and then spend a couple days there, then fly down to Cartagena, spend a couple days there, and then go. Or have it on either side. So you're flying to Bogota, and then you fly back and forth Cartagena, and then you go out that way. So check out. It's going to be fun. Hey, Beta, thank you very much for the New Year's things. And thank you, everybody, for all the fantastic birthday, New Year's things. This one?
Yep. Katie Rocky, first of all, your name is really cool. Flying within Italy from Sardinia using ITA in July. How early should I look at booking flights? I would just set a Google flight alert so that when they hit a cheap flight, you get them. That would be my.
Carla, we did answer that. Maybe this came after and I hadn't answered it yet. So just want to know, we did go through your answer on that one. Fly Girl.
Okay. Fly Girl, I do want more information on women traveling alone. So I need to make more videos. Honestly, part of the reason I don't is because people are really mean to me. And it's hard for me to sit there and take it when I know what I'm giving you is good information, because I am a woman who has traveled extensively for a long time with my family, without my family, with my girlfriends, on my own. To be honest, I don't travel on my own very much internationally. My best friend goes with me, or, other girlfriends, Mark sometimes, but we do 2 girls or something, pretty often. So I know I need to put more out there about it, and I'll try, and maybe I'll just leave the comment section off. These people are mean.
Yeah. So Farfay Travel. Mark, do you think more European travelers are beginning to catch on a view of the Balkans? I think they are. I think part of it also is the influencers. I got a bunch of things invited me to go to the Balkans last year, and we didn't go. And I think a lot of influencers got paid to go down there, so they started making content. So the contents that people see is oh, that could be something. Because we've talked about Croatia and Slovenia and Montenegro for years, and Croatia kind of had its Momed kind of stuff, and then now Albania has become like a very popular place, but Albania is really pushing to get people to go there. They're not paying us to go there, but we're going there because so many people have asked us to go there, so we have that. So yeah. So.
Ted asks, how many days should I allow for Normandy, France in April? So at least 2 to 3 days minimum. You can sink weeks into that area, but really minimum 3 days, I think.
Yeah. So Daryl, Mark, when you guys travel, do you book business class, premium? economy. I've never bought anything above. Never spent my money on buying anything.
I did once.
Yeah, you did. But sometimes you'll see you can book the like Comfort Plus, and it's only like $50 more or something. So when those things that is happening.
When I find a really good deal and it's like just me, like I flew to France and
Steve, just one.
Yeah, because there's just one of us. So like the expense isn't, multiplied by 4 when it's all 4 of us. So I've done that. We have also gotten like random weird upgrades. Like maybe a flight got switched or whatever, and all they had was like we got Delta One in 2023, right, to Tel Aviv.
Yeah,
because our first flight had gotten canceled due to mechanical whatever. The last seats they had from Atlanta to get us to Israel happened to be Delta One. Praise God. That was an amazing experience and a really long flight. So that was a nice time to get it. Otherwise, we don't book those things.
It's not because the YouTube money's not that. It's like, no, that's why I have a day job.
Maybe if we did the things where people pay us all the time.
Oh, yeah.
We don't do those things.
Don't do that. Like it's
not our thing.
We had a sponsored post by Rosetta Stone because we've actually used it. This thing I believe in. Like, and I have a thing with Ford I'm working on right now. But these are like, that's legitimate stuff. Like you're not going to see me doing what is it? The not Clash Royale, but it's like Shadow Legends. I'm not going to be doing those kind of things, but
nope.
But they'll pay you to do stuff.
Speaking of language, Ryan asks, how many languages do you speak, and what are some tips you use to maintain them?
So to maintain them, one thing I'd recommend: music. Watch stuff on YouTube, or watch shows that you already know and like in that language you want to keep up. That's going to help you. Traveling those places obviously helps as well, because it really is, you don't use it, you lose it. So you got to practice it. And I've seen with the language I've spoken, like I'll forget some, but once I go back, it starts to come back to me. So by the end of my time, I'm like, it's working again. So like for me, like I feel comfortable enough in like Spanish, Portuguese, German, English. I can get around in Italian. I can be a decent tourist in French and a little bit of Lithuanian. So,
his best friend Nando, who is Italian, says that as soon as Mark gets 2 beers in him, he's fluent.
It's funny how it works. Tequila and beer, man. You're like, all of a sudden, I didn't even know that language existed. Brian wants to know: I do not have any videos on New Jersey, but I do know Taylor ham, I think, is the north, and then it's pork roll in the south. So remember that. You can get in trouble for those ones. Jack, I was watching videos during the 7-day fast. I felt like I was there eating with you. It was great. I've watched you since 2017. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much.
Funny.
Kaylin, we've been there a lot of times. I probably won't be there back until 2026 because I think I'll be teaching nearby. So that'll be a little bit of time when I'm there. Let's see. Yes, big win for the Ilana yesterday. ILL.
Go Dogs.
Michael Treller, you said both Rimini have beaches. So Rimini is literally like a beach resort. Ravenna has beaches that are nearby. Very different kind of stuff in terms of one, you just go into the beach for the day because you live in town. And Rimini's like, no, we're for all the tourists to come here and lay on the beach. So let's see. Colombia, it's not what it used to be, Matt. I know Michael Tussell got twice. Or no, that was only in the first. I kind of hated the first one, Romancing the Stones. Let's see. Mongolia. York covered a lot of memories of my early life. So many visitors never leave London, miss so much. It's true, Michael. Like it's not a touchscreen, Jocelyn. I don't have to tell you.
I don't know. Every time. That's how many. I'm just reading something up here.
Okay. So I actually just uploaded the Eats of York, which will come out, I think, the 5th of February. 5th of February to go there. Because York, for those who know, York's my favorite city to go to in England. I highly recommend it if you get a chance to go. It is well worth it. It's a fun time. So Indigo wants to know, do you guys get travel miles? Click on it since I'm talking about it, and you can find the next question. Yes, we do get miles, and
we use them.
Well, you
use them.
I just said I have like 1.2 million miles. It just sits there. But actually, we do is like we'll use it to if we have family wants to come visit or something, we'll just get their tickets. Like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll just do our in-laws or whatever. So,
but also, you have to spend money to get the miles. So don't all these people put stuff out about that, and it drives us.
So
you don't get to travel for free. You have to earn the miles somehow.
Yeah. Every one of those, let me teach you how to. No, you know how those people pay for all this stuff? Okay. This needs to be. I'm sorry. This is one thing that's fucking pardon my life, pisses me off. There's so many people that have their like little courses. We'll teach you how we do it. We'll teach you how we see the world for free. No, they make their money not off their videos, not off them actually helping people travel. They make the money off their courses. And that's what they like. I'm going to have a social media marketing course because teaching people how to do social media marketing, like that makes money because people pay for it. And that's where they make their money to do these things. And it's not like, oh, I mean, because yes, you can get free flights, but you have to spend $10,000. Like, oh, like there's people that literally are like proud of their rotating credit cards. Yeah, we have 30 different credit cards. So we sign up, then we get 30,000 miles. So then we get a free flight. So we just keep going around our credit card stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to have 30 credit cards and doing these kind of things. And that's what some of these things will teach you is how to like use the system, which you can do. It's fine. But do you really want to have 30 credit cards? And I don't know.
What I wanted to say is that the best way to do it is to like find an airline, kind of just stick with that airline as much as possible. I'm not saying you have to be loyal to just one.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, but stick with one where your miles don't expire. And they will have deals occasionally where, you get, maybe double miles or whatever, like, or they'll have deals like where you can buy a trip that you would usually cost you like $1,000. You might be able to get for the equivalent of $600 worth of miles, right? So there are ways to make them work best for you, but you don't get them for free. Yeah. Nobody's just handing them out willy-nilly.
Jocelyn, are you excited about your dogs tonight?
I am excited about my dogs tonight. Really excited.
Tyler Cool Guy 88 also been here with us forever. Happy New Year's, welcome to 2025. I was wondering if this year is a void to avoid Spirit Airlines, do them in bankruptcy to reorganize. So I don't know what's going to happen with them because other airlines have bankrupted and then reorganized. I personally don't fly Spirit, so I'm not flying with them either. And I wouldn't take a chance. Like if I knew an airline is in trouble like that, I personally would not fly. I can't say that for other people. That's up to them to decide because they might be fine, but that's like, I just don't like taking that chance.
Okay. Jason Teeter, when I was in Paris, I love La Puce, the flea market. Are there other destinations that have great shopping experiences that aren't touristy? One of my favorites was that market that we went to in Ecuador. Do you remember the
with
name?
the grubs? No.
We were like in the mountains and I don't remember, but it was like the coolest thing. I love shopping for art in Lima, Peru, down on JFK Park. There's like particularly on the weekends, just incredible artisans and artists and like literally some of the best art ever. Also, let me think about that. I don't know. I love to find out little flea markets or just, pop-up things all over the world. You just kind of have to keep your eyes peeled. You can also look for, usually if there's some kind of festival, there will be some kind of market, like the one that comes every year, the gold market in Vicenza.
Yeah, there's a gold market.
Is that what it's called?
Well, basically that's a translation. Or you have like the Indian market in Santa Fe.
Oh yeah, like and the gem show in Tucson. So when there are these festivals of sorts, you end up getting these really great shopping, things. And I've gotten so many cool things for very little money.
Yes. So Mark Finley say, I've got a little status on American and Delta now, but I still pay for the extra legroom because if I don't get upgrade, I can't deal with the lack of legroom. And that's one of the things. Just because you have status doesn't mean you're going to get something that's going to be healthy. You still need to pay for some of those things. And if you listen to what the airlines have been saying, they want to inspire us to buy the upgrades versus getting the free upgrades. And if anyone has status, you might notice that you're not getting as many upgrades as you used to, and so something to kind of be aware of.
This one. Michael asks, best place you would recommend to learn a language, apps, etc. Well, like we just said, Mark particularly has used Rosetta Stone in the past and had really good success with it. I also like Pimsleur. Both of them are sort of like more academic learning, lots of psychology behind it to make you remember things.
Yeah. The thing is, whatever one works for you, because everyone has a different learning style. So I technically cannot talk about any other language apps for 30 days. So we have to stop because I signed a contract. You didn't. That's true. But I'm with you. So it's one of those things. I recommend using whatever works for you. But I like them, and so I can't promote any other for 30 days. Okay. So, Thomas, thank you. Sorry for not wearing my glasses. Don't worry, my friend. I understand how things are. Sometimes you got to play the trombone when you're reading. We'll do Caribbean as we meet friends, American friends, but really want Colombia best friend. Hey, Thomas, honestly, if you can what I would do is just get your ticket flying in out of Colombia and then just go in and out from like a separate kind of thing. That might be something better to do so you can enjoy it, because Colombia is well worth visiting, like well worth it. Keith, spring break, late March. Wish to avoid massive crowds and reasonable expense. Europe or Caribbean? Oh, Europe. Europe is way cheaper than the Caribbean in spring break. Like it's cheaper for you to fly to Europe. It's cheaper for you to eat in Europe. It's cheaper to stay in Europe. Way cheaper. Like we used to do European spring breaks all the time, and only the last few years, when the kids were little, the last few years we've done Caribbean and Central America or South America. And the reason why I've done that is just because we want to keep them on the same time zone because they're going back to school. So that was more of a.
And as they get older, we've got high school and middle school and
algebra, geometry, pre-calculus.
They need to be awake.
They need to be awake for that. So that's where that's been. So I hope that can help. Like I would recommend those because go to England. We did Ireland for a road trip and England for a road trip kind of trip for a spring break kind of stuff. So some
France once too and did a road trip
through Normandy. There was one earlier. Someone was asking about they want to go to Normandy and where should they fly in? Just fly into Paris. And you can take the train out there. That's going to be your easiest way to do it if you're coming from the U.S. It's not worth it doing anything. My mom? Oh, yes. There you go. Kathy Walters, Buenos Aires for Art, Santa Fe, Indian Market. Yes.
How can I forget?
Because Marie is not up right now. So. Oh, we got a Duck fan. Hey, Ann, how are you? Go Ducks. Visit Nice, France this spring. Any tips on accommodation day trips? Okay, so accommodation-wise, no matter where you stay, is going to be expensive, and it's going to be small. Be aware of that.
Not a good deal.
Use the safe in your room. In Nice, you got to be careful. Nice, not so, but like if you go over to Marseille's a little far for a day trip. You could do that. Cannes is an easy day trip. A lot of people go there because of it. The film festival, the beach. It's a sandy beach too, so you can go there. But it's like a day trip kind of thing. But the probably one you want to do is Monaco, and just go over to Monaco for the day to see that. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is insane how rich people are. Like there's that. But if you want to go to like real France, like more of a real France kind of thing, you can go to Aix-en-Provence. That could be a good day trip when you're there. So those would be the ones I would do. Like I was actually planning to be doing like my next trip I'm going on, it's France and Italy. Originally it was just going to be France. And I actually had where I was going from Paris to Lyon to Avignon, Paris, Lyon, Avignon, then Aix, and then from Aix to a day trip from Aix to Marseille, then go to Nice. And I was doing a day trip to Cannes and Monaco, then flying out from Nice because they have flights from Nice back to the US. So I hope that helps, Anne.
Oh, balls. I can't make it work.
What do you want?
Just go down a couple. So there were two I wanted to answer. I think this one from Tom H. Hello, guys. I'm going to Chicago at the end of December. Any good places to go or do over there? Would be my first time outside of Europe. We'll be in Elmhurst to see friends who moved there. So much. The Art Institute of Chicago is a great museum. There are tons of museums. The Adler Planetarium.
Shed Aquarium,
the
Natural History Museum, which is
the Museum of Science
Industry.
I don't love that one as much as everyone else does, but that's just me. That's okay. Everyone else loves it.
They're all kind of relatively close.
Oh, the Museum of Illusions, and then we went and did this. What the heck's it called? The color thing at the bottom of the Sears Tower. I went with our friends from Italy, and we had a dang. Just absolutely loved it. Great food, great shows. Chicago's really a very sophisticated sort of city, and you'll find a lot to do.
And Tom, I got a Dones video and Eats of Chicago videos that'll help you out and get ready for it. So,
MJ, best airline for Greece. Within Greece, I fly Aegean all the time. Good service, and if you sign up for Aegean, like whatever stuff, they often have really good deals. If you are able to kind of go at the drop of a hat, you might get some really great ones.
So Purvis saying you should have been here at the beginning when I was talking about the EES. So EES, remember that is the fingerprinting and picture taking of your passport, and then EITAS is the visa waiver you have to fill out. Yeah, this thing has been postponed like 4 or 5 years in a row, and that they don't have a date now, and we're in January 25, and they don't have it for like this summer. Tells you a lot because it's like, oh, we're going to push it back due to infrastructure issues. I'm like, so the infrastructure's not there. You can't run this with the infrastructure not working. So yeah, that's why I was laughing, Purvis. That was pretty funny. So it was delayed a million times, maybe a billion. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody else mentioned this, and I don't know why I didn't. Tom, on things to do in Chicago, go on the Chicago River cruise. The architectural cruises are incredible.
Patrick Kirk, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you both for all your help over the years. Question coming in chat below.
Patrick Kirk. Hard to find these things when this happens.
Andrew Hemingway, I'm working on the courage to leave Europe for holiday. Any destination recommendation? You want to scroll and I'll answer. So if you're leaving Europe, the U.S. really is beautiful, and I do recommend it for a really great place. If you want to go, if you're looking to go like Central America, first time out, I would go Costa Rica. It's safe, tons of outdoor activities, super nice people. If you're looking to go to South America, Peru, the two safest are Uruguay and Chile. Chile has way more to see than Uruguay. But like if you want like real tourists, Peru is probably the best one to go to. A lot of people like you can go Southeast Asia, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, that little thing there. That's a popular one. But if it's your first time, I don't know if that'd be a good one to go to. If you're looking to go, like if you want to go Africa, I would do Tanzania and Rwanda. Pretty safe, really good tourism infrastructures for those two. So Morocco could be a good one too. So those are some ones to kind of think about.
I can't find his thing. I don't see it anywhere. The person that just did the chat and
he might not have written it yet.
Oh, okay.
He just might have put
so
that in.
Hang on, there was the Portugal one right there.
This one?
Yeah. Dark Chia. What similar less known places in Portugal would you recommend visiting? Where not knowing a lot of Portuguese won't be an issue. That's sort of not an issue almost anywhere with people 40 and under. They'll
50 and under, baby. It's 50 and under
really. Now. We're getting older.
Yeah.
Anyway, you'll find that it's pretty easy. Obidus, where's the place? Knights Templar. What's the Tomar is a great fun place.
And those are places like Tomar, Obidus, Sintra. Like I'm going like right by, if you're staying by Lisbon, you can do that. Evora is easy to get to. Then if you're up by Porto, Guimarães, which is where Porto was actually founded. Braga is nice. Viana do Castelo down there. If you go to up there, if you go down to the south, on the way down, Beja is a town in the middle of nowhere. Now, Alteja is worth going to see. If you go on the very southern coast, that's a lot of tourist stuff, so it's not really undiscovered. So there are some of those.
Oh. Well,
best country for Asian parents with a walker. If you're going to Europe, US is the best country for handicapped travelers or limited mobility anywhere. We have laws that make it so people can enjoy and be a part of things. After that, Japan. They have a lot of stuff that's really helpful. Then I would go with Ireland has a good. They have good.
Cutaways and things.
They have good cutaways. Like Ireland's done better. Yeah, I would go like Scandinavia because Finland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark have done a lot to make it handicap accessible. And I know your parents are handicapped, they're still walker, but for the ease of those kind of things, those would be the ones I would recommend. Patrick, we found it. We're making our return to Europe in the last week of March. 5 productive days from Brussels. Looking for a couple of great day trips from Brussels.
Don't say it, Brussels.
Yeah, Brussels. I mean,
there's just not a lot in Brussels.
So. 1, Bruges. Bruges is a must. I would say in Bruges. Bruges. Next, staying in Belgium. Bruges and Ghent. We have videos on both of those that'll help you get there. Those are 2 places you really should go. If you're going to go a little bit farther, you go to Amsterdam. Easy trip. There's trains going like an hour and a half. You're there. No big deal. You got that one. If you want to head over to Germany, you can get to, there's trains that go to Cologne. That's a little bit farther, but you could do that.
It's like, what, 3 hours?
No, it's not quite that far to get to Cologne. But those would be the ones. But I would go Bruges, Ghent, Amsterdam, would be the ones. Göttingen and not Göttingen. Hold on, I'm looking at the map. You talk
okay,
and
I'll help. So yeah, Brussels really just doesn't have a lot, and you think it does, and then you get there and you're disappointed.
Yeah, because it's always in the news for being the capital of Europe and stuff. Yeah. Other ones for you to get to, Cologne, like I said, Bruges, Antwerp, or you go to Antwerp. That's not bad. That's a more modern one. I would not do Rotterdam. Amsterdam's easy enough. Yeah, those are ones that are there. If you want to go down into France, I mean, you have the fast trains to go to Paris, to be honest. I mean, it's doable. It's 2 hours. So you have that. So I hope that helps, Patrick. Thank you very much for the super chat.
Okay. APPR, hello, Happy New Year. Any visa updates or changes for Americans? Just go ahead and.
So EES, where they will have their take your picture and fingerprint you, is supposed to start in the first half of 2025. However, it's been pushed back so many times. Who knows? ETIAS, which is the visa waiver program, because everyone will be on there. They're like, it's not a visa.
It's really.
I hate people that do those. Technically. Anyway, ETIAS is supposed to come on this summer of 2025, but they've been saying that since this summer 2022. So take that with what you will. Next up. Michael Shaw, how often do fans recognize or approach you when you're on location between filming?
Like,
how about you? Do you get that recognized?
I get it occasionally. Mark gets it obviously a lot more because I don't like to put my face on a camera. But like every day, close to
like
every day.
If I'm
in an airport, every time.
But if I'm in if I'm in a city, if I'm in Europe, as a city I have a lot of videos in, it'll be a few times a day. If it's ones I only have like 1 or 2 videos on, it'll be like once or twice, maybe once.
It's pretty funny the way
it's but it's correlates. Like but it'll be sometimes like where I found it's like where it's places I've never filmed, and like we were in Wales, I was shopping. It's like this little. It wasn't Tesco's like M&S or whatever. It was in this grocery store. It was like 3 aisles in a row, not the same people. Like 3 aisles in a row. There were people like, oh, and this is when we were maybe had like 200,000 followers, right?
It was pretty wild.
So there does have a lot. And I'll get it like at the grocery store here in town. I'm like, oh, dude, I watch your videos. What are you doing here? I'm like, I live here. I had no idea. Like, that's the point. I don't ever tell anybody where we live. So you have that one. So so it does have. It's pretty fun.
Wait, where was?
No, it's not
that one. That one. So when I was
so Maceió is one I really like. It's a suggested mid-sized town in Brazil for remote work. The northeast of Brazil, I like it up there. Maceió, Maceió because it's got the beach. But João Pessoa, Maceió and João Pessoa, those two will be my recommendations for beach towns to go to.
Thunderduck.
Thunderduck. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oops, sorry. Thunderduck. Boa tarde, Feliz Ano Novo de Lisboa. Abraço. O pato de. What is thunder?
I have no idea what thunder is.
Wow. See, I need to practice. I forgot what thunder is.
Yeah, never learned that.
North Korea trip. Yeah, well, we'll probably go to the DMZ, but I don't know if we'll put our foot over the line. So there is that one. Braunschweig, nice. I was going to say Braunschweig. That is the home of Walter's Pilsner, which like 2 years ago had a big push in the U.S. And that was funny. Walter's Pilsner, the blue can, the black can, the white can, all over. So they had the normal Pilsner kind of stuff. They had a Schwarzbier, black beer, and then they had the Weizen beer. So yeah, they had that a lot. And then I dropped the 6-pack in a place. They explode very spectacularly if you're in a liquor store.
Paradox Parade said go to Utrecht instead of Amsterdam, and we go to Utrecht a lot. But if somebody's just getting around, all the big stuff is in Amsterdam. But if you visited Amsterdam, even just once,
Utrecht, we stay in Utrecht and then go into Amsterdam.
That's our favorite place to stay. It's pretty great.
Yeah, we give 5 years to don't visit Orleans. New Orleans?
Orleans, France. Because of the terror attack that was there. Like they literally credited you with saving their life because of that.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay.
I'm glad you're here.
My first pretty rusty, but I did study in high school. Hey, you'll see when you get to a place. Now some of those words come back. It's pretty cool.
You know what? And just brush up. Like do the Rosetta Stone for French and you'll be like zipping through. And what's cool about it though is that you can pick up at different levels. You don't have to start with.
We don't have to sell their stuff. It's okay.
Oh, but I like that about not every.
I did like that too because they had it because it was like they had the end future tense, past tense. So it's like yes, that's what I learned. So that was very helpful. So Daphne, yes, the visa is still $7. The visa waiver. Remember, it's not a visa. So like so many of those kind of comments, just like shake her head. It's like I put out a video on the don'ts of Austrian trains today, and everyone's like, "Well, you forgot this." I'm like, "Yeah, but you didn't say that you actually liked the whole video because it was actually super helpful." You're like, "Well, you didn't mention that they split the trains sometimes." Like, okay, so in the 20-minute video where I put all that was the one thing, and you're like complaining like, but it is Austria, so.
Hang on, somewhere right up there. The senior train rates for Europe.
Senior train rates for Europe are any worth getting. Honestly, you might as well just get your ticket and then push that you're a senior and then get the discount that way. Because some of you don't have to get the passes. Because the passes I've found, if you have to buy them, they usually don't make up for it if you're only going to go on vacation. So something to think about. Lee Bridges.
Hi, Lee.
Our LA friend extraordinaire, fencing champion and amazing person. Also wonderful hobby as well. Greetings from LA. The Rose Parade is on right now. If you visit SoCal New Year's, hot tip, go out to Pasadena New Year's Eve. Huge party as floats get lined up. Neighbors, dogs, free side. Cool. That's cool. Thanks, Lee. Hopefully we'll see you for
the best.
Yeah, she's cool. Likely.
a stop for LA.
Does everyone have their real IDs? Get them. Check those visa requirements. Yes. So for my American friends, if you do not have a star on your driver's license, you do not have a real ID as a driver's license. And I think it's from May or March. March of 2025. You have to have a real ID as your thing for flying domestic in the U.S., or you can use your passport and you're fine.
Or passport card. I actually got a passport.
Or military ID.
Yep. I got a passport card last time I got my passport just a few months ago. I got a new one. And I got that because I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to get into the DMV and actually get this done.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and got that, and that works too. If you are in there are states that have the enhanced license. There is some scuttlebutt about whether or not that enhanced license is going to work. It is the same thing as the real ID. However, some TSA people are like I think it was New York or New Jersey has it, and it has, instead of a star, it has the American flag on it. So
enhanced is not
here's it, but it does the same thing.
Yeah.
So some TSA agents will get through with that. Some will not. I don't know the way around that, because there was a lot about people not being able to get them with the star in those states. So please look into that. And if that becomes an issue for you and you can't get it with the star, get yourself a passport card, or one of those other forms.
And you can just fly with your passport.
Yeah, always just fly.
And the thing is,
you never know when you might go, cheap flight somewhere.
And the thing is with the star kind of stuff, because some of those states have the enhanced ones. They have real ID, enhanced, and then normal. Just get the star. Get the star one. Didn't have to worry about it. Isabella, I'm attending to a wedding in France in June. Awesome. I plan to travel on the coast before the wedding. Any suggestions? Nice, Cannes, So for the beach, so Nice is fun to go to, but the beaches are stone. Cannes, the beach is sand, but it's a little oily, but it's still not bad. But there's a lot of stuff to do. Get it, but here's the thing: getting from that bottom part of France over to Italy, you're going to take a bus, because the trains. There's trains to go through too. It's a little bit complicated. Look into it.
Spotty.
It's spotty, so just be real. It might be like just stay to France. I mean, you can get over there, but just know it's like sometimes a headache. But if you're looking at your ticket, you fly into Nice and then fly out of Milan, and you can work your way over at the end. So there is that. Okay, Daniel, I don't know about the blackouts right now, so I can't say anything with that one. But I saw your thing, buddy. Oh, there you go. Another one. You can easily go over the border to Ventimiglia in Italy from there. Okay, then connect from there. Yeah, because all the trains I had went there. Then you connected from there. But think of this. Alagas, I've always wanted to experience a European sleeper train. Are there any that you recommend in particular and do not break the budget? So here's the thing. There's the Istanbul, what was it? The Orient Express kind of things. Those are super expensive, but that's like you're buying the Lamborghini stuff to drive to.
Someday I'm going to do it. Man.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have overnight trains that are just really straight trains. They're not really romantic. They're not comfortable. They romanticize
you really
again. If you want to do it, dude. I've done it a lot of times, but you don't sleep well.
But there are several that won't break your budget. It's just like getting any other, maybe 15 euros more, 25 euros more. It's not like a significant thing.
Yep. Let's see. Kim, I've been binging your Spain videos, Madrid, Sevilla, and Valencia in March with our adult nephew for 2 weeks. Any tips? The video is pretty much covered. I have that new Seville video, and if you're going in March, I probably have a couple more Spain videos. I just put out how not to piss off people in Spain video, that came out this weekend on Sunday. I would watch that as well. But the Spain stuff we have will get you pretty prepared. In Sevilla, go do a day trip up to Cordoba. It's worth it for a day. If you're going to be before that. So yeah.
Hey, Mark and Jocelyn, for spelling. Thanks, Carlos. Do you guys ever go through travel fatigue? If so, how do you deal with it? I maybe travel 2 to 3 times a year, not too often to have this. I still love to travel though. So yeah, I mean, when you're skipping zones and you're not flying where you can sleep on, with bed and private with better air and all the other things they get. Yes, we get it all the time. I take something called Jet Zone. It's like a homeopathic thing. Talk to your doctor. I am not one. But it really does help me sleep better, and it just gets me on a little bit faster. We also use melatonin. We use when we get back and we're exhausted, we wake up really early and you're trying to get on that schedule again. creative use of caffeine. Like at 3 o'clock and at 5 o'clock, I need just a little bit, and that will get me to 8. And if I can go to bed at 8, the first day I'm back, I feel really good about that.
Yep. So, favorite foodie cities, loving living.
Also, we have videos on jet lag. Okay, go on. Loving living.
So, favorite foodie cities. So, if
New
I'm
Orleans.
going to, New Orleans in the U.S. is probably the best food city because it's fantastic for the local cuisine that's there and the drinks you can have and all the stuff. And a lot of people think it's just, the French Quarter and Mardi Gras stuff. No, the city's fantastic because there's so much great food and pride in the food that's there. That's one of the best food cities. If you want like food from all over the world, there's cities you can go to like London, New York. It's going to give you the opportunity. Sao Paulo, Brazil did like fantastic restaurants. You can eat stuff from all over the world there. Tokyo as well. Those are like, I'm looking for like stuff you're going to have cities from food from that country, but also from all over the world you can enjoy.
Berlin.
There's that. Berlin, not as much, but no, we're right. Berlin,
for international.
Yeah, for international stuff. Yeah. Berlin's better for international food than German food.
Yeah,
Like, don't eat the German food in Berlin. You want to eat the international food. It's some fantastic stuff for that. Those are our favorite. Like, so they're all big cities, but they're all definitely worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Wyatt asks, "Hey, I'm American and just moved to Helsinki. Any advice?" Well, you lived there. Well, no, he lived in Turku, but
so the Finns are very like they don't talk. Like they will talk when they have something to say, then they'll just stop talking. If you're moving there, you just moved there. Okay, so I have like a few Finland ones I put out at the end of last year. I got a bunch coming out this year of Finnishisms, like what makes the Finnish people Finnish. You'll notice a thing called Finnish logic, where it doesn't make sense. Like, oh, they have the elevator. You think the next elevator would go down, but it also goes up. Wait, how do I get down the next way? Or like you walk around and just see things going, why would you do that? Like Finnish logic is very different. The people themselves, like you may think they don't like you or they're being rude, but they just don't talk. They're just very introverted. That's why sauna is very important to go to. If they ever ask you to do anything, just say yes, because they will never, ever, 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 ever ask you again. But when they want to talk about a topic, they will talk about that topic ad nauseum forever. So you can get that. So that can be helpful. Other things from Helsinki. I mean, if you're living there, you're going to have a lot of chance to travel, but just going over to Tallinn for the day on the ferries are fun, or to stay there. Other place to go, if you're going to go up to like the Santa Claus's village, they have the Rovaniemi Express. It's like take the overnight train. It's hard, you don't see much because it's at night, but it's still pretty. There's a daytime one that goes too. You can see that. I like Turku because it's more a chillax city, but it's been burned down so many times. There's very few historic things. Helsinki itself, it's pricey. Finnish. You learn some Finnish but none of them there. Well, no, everyone will speak English. But
and
just
perfectly.
Yes, but if you know a few words, they really appreciate it. So that goes a long way. So,
all right. So thoughts on Bologna, and is the end of April a good time to go? So we love Bologna. We had such a great time there. I've recommended it to a lot of people. End of April particularly is really nice because it's warm enough, but without having gotten hot. So.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be filming there. I'll have new videos for their Pride later this summer. Marie, the famous Marie McKinnis that was mentioned in our latest Sweden video. She was. Better late than ever. Yeah, considering we're about to sign off here in a little bit. So
we've been going for over an hour.
I know. So we want to. It's a good way to start the year to answer questions. Do the best we can. So let's see. So good to see Marie. And thank you. Marie gave me a lot of good tips on Sweden. I try to put them in there to help out. So I hope I helped you. I made you proud.
You know that person loving, something like that, and about foodie places. We went. There were a bunch of not Michelin starred restaurants, although I think there are some in Malta, but they're Michelin recognized, right? They haven't gotten a star.
That's like you're in.
Oh, it is?
Yes, because Michelin's a guidebook in France.
Well, but they're to get the star or something.
They had a chance. They were like finalists, but that's like it's like saying you were nominated for the Nobel Prize. Like anybody get nominated kind of stuff for certain people. So, but Malta does have a lot. Valletta has some really good restaurants as well because there's lots of money there, and so there's lots of good restaurants to go along with that money. So there's that. So. Aaron, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm going to travel abroad for the first time this fall. Awesome. I'll be in Munich for 2 weeks for Oktoberfest. Any advice for 2 weeks? So book your accommodation for Oktoberfest. The days you're going to be there right now. So you have that set up. But if you're going to be
yesterday.
Some easy, like 2 weeks, some easy place to go to. Nuremberg, Bamberg, Regensburg. Those are all really good places to go to, relatively near Munich. You're going to stay in Bamberg because it's far enough away. Nuremberg could be done as a day, but you can stay there. Regensburg is nice. Also, you can go over Salzburg, Austria. It's like an hour and a half on a local kind of train to go there. So that's a great day trip. If you're going to stay in Munich the whole time, you can get down to Innsbruck, Austria. Innsbruck's beautiful. Love that. We got stuff videos for all those things. Other people like Oberammergau, some people like to go there to see like the painted buildings and stuff. So there's a lot of really good day trips for you, Aaron. That'll definitely take every time. You go to Neuschwanstein Castle and the town Fussen that it's at. It's actually a cute town to go to. So you spend like half day in the castle, a half day in Fussen, and then take the train back. That can be something for you. So yeah. So Global Nico. Good morning, happy New Year. Hey, buddy. Yes, I have you in my queue. I think it was for Lyon. I think you're in Lyon. You did a video, so I'm going to watch that, my friend. Thank you.
John said, oh, no, that wasn't what I meant. He's replying to someone else. It was right there. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Okay. Jack. Thoughts on Slovenia and Slovenia? I've heard they're really underrated. Oh, Slovenia, and I'm guessing that should be Slovakia.
Or it could be Slovenia twice. Yes, they both are underrated. If I was going to choose between the two, I would choose Slovenia. Because you can see the whole country relatively easily from Lake Bled to Ljubljana and those things. Bratislava is fantastic in Slovakia, and honestly, it's so much cheaper. Like eat your fancy Vienna vacation meals in Bratislava.
We loved both of those places.
Yeah.
Anthony says, Happy New Year. I bought my direct flight to Beijing, China for June 2025. Any advice? Also, I'm glad you'll be visiting my country of Panama. You'll love it. We have no doubt. So we lived there for summer. Mark taught there. It was insane. It's the most difficult place I've traveled because English is non-existent. And you get the thing for pinging, but all the people that you interact with, like the taxi drivers and, the people that most tourists see the most, don't speak Mandarin, and your pinging is for Mandarin. So that makes it even harder. I've never cried because I was lost before, and I cried twice in Beijing. Getting around is hard. My biggest hint, if you can memorize their subways are laid out really great. They have exits. It's like north, south, east, west, whatever. If you can just memorize Bay is north, if you can memorize that character, then you can look at north and you can figure out the rest of the things. Once I got that, getting around was like 1,000 times easier. There is so much cool stuff. Be ready to bargain for everything and anything. They expect it. Mark was like so frustrated with that. I was like, I'm getting all the deals, and it was really fun, and I enjoyed the time there. But just getting around is the most difficult part.
So, John Taylor, which is the best visit as a family, Porto or Lisbon? So, Porto is much smaller and much less touristed. Not touristy, but touristed. However, I will say this: I think getting if they're little kids, getting them around Porto might be a little bit more cumbersome than in Lisbon, because Lisbon has so much more public transportation options to get you places. If I was looking to take my kids, I would probably go Lisbon over Porto, though there are all the hills there. But
all that said, we lived in Lisbon with a 3-year-old and a newborn, and we went to Porto with a 3-year-old and a newborn. So, I mean, we did all the things, and it's doable. So
Nova, what's your experience been in Oslo, Norway? Everything's expensive. Last 2 times I was there, I didn't even drink any beer because I was like, I can't do it. It's too expensive. We're going to be going back there. No, I don't think we're going this year, but next year, 2026, we're scheduled to go to back there to film a refilm. We have some videos. We have some Norway and Oslo videos that'll help you out. I think it's just love and hates. It's before we're doing the don'ts, but the stuff still pretty much sticks. But you have it's beautiful. People speak English really well, and they'll be very direct with their questions. So be aware that they might ask you things you're not ready to be asked. Like, no one asked that. They have no problem asking. There is zero filter when they talk to you. So be aware of that one. Thoughts on Puglia? How does it compare to Amalfi Coast? A lot less tourists.
Mostly Italian tourists.
Mostly Italian tourists that are actually in Puglia. So those that's Bari. You got no. Well, that's the other side. Let's just farther down. You're right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I was going to say for the thing. So we got Bari's that we're probably going to come in. Bari's fantastic, but Alberobello with the truly houses like this, and Medera, which is like they use that for Passion of Christ because it looks like it's 1,000 years because it is.
It's more than that.
Yeah, and
it's
then
the longest inhabited place in the world. They think.
or in
right?
Europe, or continually inhabited.
Yeah, continually.
And then Poliano Amare is a great beach town. Like a lot less tourists. You get a much more Italian vibe. It's more Italy. And Amalfi Coast in the summer is just international tourists everywhere.
So
you get overrun. So that's why
we loved Puglia. And oh my gosh, the burrata.
Yeah, it's where it's from.
My favorite cheese, and it's an orecchietti. Okay.
Yeah, Janice says, I lived in Innsbruck for 13 years. It's worth a visit when you're in Munich. Definitely. We love it. We love Innsbruck. Lee, it's Mandarin is there, but they have people from all over China, so it doesn't mean it's going to work. And so you may have stuff like what I'd recommend anybody going to Beijing, get the card, and don't get the card from your hotel that'll say where it is, because a lot of the tax, it's kind of like when you have Uber in the US. The Uber driver's probably not from there. Same thing in Beijing, they're not from there. Like the taxi driver, so you have to have that so they can put it in and find it, because they will not understand you. They will not understand you. Period. Even if you're trying your best. I mean, I know little, and like the restaurants, restaurants helped you get through and get the order. But yeah, just be ready for I thought I knew something. So, and I know you, Lee. I know you know it. And so, yeah. Let's see. Ontario, Canada for camping. Yes, that's always been a great place to go for that. There's so many provincial parks you can go to. You'll do great there.
Okay, that one. So David asks, is there a country or place that you think people would be surprised that you haven't visited yet? So in November, I went to New York City for the first time.
Oh, that's right.
And I think every time I would tell someone that, they're like, what do you mean it's your first time? You've been everywhere. And I'm like, I haven't been everywhere. And obviously not, because I haven't been to New York. So I just had my first love affair with New York, and it's going to continue for many, many years to come.
So Colors for Life will be snow in Budapest in March. I don't know. It's kind of like if you live in the central of the U.S., you could get snow. You might not get snow. It's possible. It's possible to happen, but not as likely as in February or January. I guess your weekend trip from
Dude, go to Tucson. It's the coolest place ever.
Tucson, or you can go up to Monument Valley, or you can go to the Grand Canyon. You can go over to Santa Fe in New Mexico. There's one there. Oh, sorry.
There.
Brian, we have not been to Hershey Park. So I've driven by it many times. Many times I've seen when I was a kid, we drove by there. And I saw it. It's like, can we go? Like one day, because we go on our trips out. And I'm like, one day. No, Dara, we're not in Austria. We're actually home.
Marie, about your friend Jenny, would you just DM me on that, and we'll talk? It'll be easier.
Really enjoy your videos. What are your favorite sodas abroad? Have you heard of Spuma? Yes. It's a sweeter version of Almdudler, an amazing salad available in the Brenner region of South Tyrol. So those know Almdudler. Almdudler, and then there's another one. But Almdudler is kind of like, the closest I would think is it's like ginger ale and apple juicy mix, but it's not either of those flavors. Almdudler is a different flavor, but it gives you more of like an herbal soda, which sounds horrible, but it's actually really good. Like if you see in my Austria videos, I'm always drinking it. And then there's another one that there's like an apple spritz kind of
something.
Yeah, that you get in Germany and sometimes in Austria too. Like those are two of my favorite ones.
Sumo Laranja.
Yeah, Sumo Laranja in Portugal, which is orange
soda, not to be confused with Sumo Laranja, which is orange juice.
Yeah.
How many times did I end up with orange juice? I was like, damn it, my Portuguese is so bad.
Adam, have you attended a lot of live sport events on your travels? Any favorite stadiums? So I have gone to quite a few. I've gone to a lot of like lower level Italian soccer games. One thing I would tell you is the U.S. stadiums are the best stadiums for visitor experience and visitor food. Because going to games in Italy, the food never was impressive. There's not much there. Like it's built for the soccer stadium. It's not built for anything else. It's just for the game. Whereas in the U.S., no, it's built for the experience. And if you by chance watch the match while you're there in the U.S., great. But they're like, hey, we're gonna make our money other ways. That's how they do it. So you don't get as much of the extra stuff. One thing I think is fun, like in the U.S., you have the tailgating. In the tailgating kind of atmosphere before big soccer matches can be fun in certain places. Like in Lisbon, there's people eating their bifanas and stuff, but it's not as big of a deal. Like usually you're eating with your friends before and then you go to the game, kind of stuff.
I'm sorry, I suck.
It's okay.
I'm so analog, y'all. It's not even funny.
Okay, that's all the way down.
Basta, faz favor. I put this and then it doesn't do it. And so then I get pissed.
Can't go up anymore.
Why can't I touch screen?
You have to click it, hold it down, then move it.
Yeah, but then it goes so fast.
Yes, because there's a lot of comments. That's why we can't answer everybody's comments. We're sorry that we don't get everybody's stuff going. Anyway, Schrola, yeah, that's the one, Thomas. Yeah, Schrola, Apple Schrola. That's one of my favorite ones. Sorry, Justin threw me off.
I'm off too.
Also, after we
like Africa.
Safari. Is this something you would do? Yes, I would do. Yes. We did we've been to North Africa. I've been to North Africa a few times. Sub-Saharan I've only been a couple times. Like Rwanda, Tanzania, we love that, but we still want to get down to South Africa, Namibia, Zambia. We still want to get down to
what I do on safari? I will not stay in a tent next to the watering hole because it gets busy at night.
Yes, tell them the story how you got scared. We'll finish off with that.
Okay, so we're all lying in bed and
this is in Tanzania,
and we hear. And Caleb, being the smart boy that he is like, that's a cheetah because they are not true cats and don't retract their claws. I'm like, oh God, there is a cheetah on our porch. So we called the Maasai and they took care of it. And
they just scared them off.
It sounds bad, right? No, they didn't do anything bad. Then we knew there was a hippo in camp. We had seen it and they were very nervous about that when we walked to dinner. So throughout the night, we hear this, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I didn't know what it was. It just sounded really dang big. So that was the hippo. And then the lions are roaring on either end of camp. Well, lions roars travel how many miles? Like a lot of miles. So it sounds like they're really close, but they could be far away. In the midst of all of this mayhem, the damn buffalo comes up next to our tent, and they told us this would happen because of the shade of the tents. The grass is really green right next to them, so they like to eat that grass. So the thing comes up, hits the guideline of our tent, and our whole tent wall kind of goes woof. And then it just kind of rubs right in there, and you can see its body going next to the tent. Like it's literally on the wall behind the bed, and it's chewing its cud. And then there's the lions roaring. And all I thought was, dear God, please don't let us be collateral damage. I thought for sure the hippos, the lions, and they were going to make a meal out of it was just so scary. And I lived through it, and it was really great. And I'm really glad we did it.
So Casper Sanders was really nice. Said, this is lame as hell. I'm out.
Oh, thanks.
So these
are
the kind of comments that you just kind of shake your head out when it comes to YouTube. You got lame ass people like this that come in like, then why are you
here?
Don't waste your time. I understand. I have no problem. Just leave.
Have a good New Year.
Are you skipping school today, Mark? There's no school. It's January 1st. So I'm good. I'm good. Anyway, I want to wish everybody a fantastic New Year. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on today for this little thing. I was really wanted to be on for like an hour, but I was glad we could have answered as many questions as we could. We'll try to do more of these lives during the year, but we wish you all the best. Good luck on your travels this year. ETIAS, EES, just take your time. Just wait for it. Maybe eventually we'll find out what's going on. UK has their stuff in gear, so you can do that one. But we wish you all the best. Wish you a very, very happy 2025 and happy travels this year. Bye, everybody.
Bye.